Hey, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back to OdinReactz. Now, I wanted to do a video on this because I am a big boxing fan, okay? I've followed boxing ever since I was a kid. Big Mike Tyson fan, big Anthony Joshua fan, big Tyson Fury fan. There's many others, Canelo, like there's some insane boxers out there. And I am a fan of Floyd Mayweather, all right? And I think personally, when it comes to boxing, I think when you think of the greats, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, even of this era, Fury, Anthony Joshua, Canelo, etc., they had to grind their way from the bottom up. So for me personally, when I look at a fight like this, I think, I don't know, because it is an exhibition. Apparently, it's going to be an exhibition. So it's, as far as I know, it's going to be less rounds. Than it's not going to be like a fully professional fight, 12 rounds. Back in the day they did 15 rounds of boxing. So with this one, it's an exhibition fight, and I don't know why Floyd Mayweather's going to do this. Obviously for the money. He's fought a couple of exhibition matches. I called the one that he did with Conor McGregor an exhibition, even though it was a boxing match with boxing rules, because again, it was two different sports combined with completely different rules, And I think Floyd Mayweather took advantage of that because he knew that going from Conor McGregor's background, it was less rounds, and less time in the ring. So he took advantage of that. But with this one, it's going to last 2 or 3 rounds. Simple as that. Floyd Mayweather's going to knock him out. He's going to stop Logan Paul. It's as simple as that. I'm not a Logan Paul hater. I think, in the KSI fight, he was quite slow for me personally. He had a good jab in the second one. That was about it. He didn't throw the right hand enough. I think if he threw the right hand more, he could have probably knocked KSI out. But again, I'm a big fan of KSI. But yeah, I don't know. For me personally, and this is just my opinion, that YouTube rappers should box. YouTube rappers and boxers that have retired should box boxers that have retired, or boxers. If you're going to get back in the ring, and this is just my opinion, but if you're going to get back in the ring, box somebody who's a boxer. Don't box a YouTuber for a bit of money. Because personally, I think, and this is my opinion as well, that it's going to affect people's opinions of his legacy. Floyd Mayweather's legacy. You look at some of the people he's fought. He beat Canelo. Nobody's beat Canelo, He beat Canelo. He beat Manny Pacquiao. He's beat a lot of good boxers. He beat Ricky Hatton. There's many other names. Oscar De La Hoya, he beat him. So he beat everyone at his point when Floyd Mayweather was boxing professionally. He beat everyone who was, who would have been a challenge to him. I think if he fought Canelo now, I'd like to see that. I think it would be very close, because as we saw in the boxing fight with Conor McGregor, he could go the rounds. He conserved his energy well, I think. And I think with Floyd Mayweather, he would still be, under professional boxing rules, he would still do really well. But I don't like this. I don't like the idea of this at all. I think it's good for Logan Paul, mostly. It's creating a legacy for him. He's working really hard. He's got his YouTube channel. He's got his podcast. He's made a little bit of music here and there, and I appreciate and respect the grind. Don't get me wrong, I fully respect him when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to his success, and that he's getting into the boxing game and making a name for himself. But if Floyd Mayweather was going to fight someone, I would have rather seen KSI in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, even though Floyd Mayweather's dad trained KSI in one of his fights. I'd still like to see them two. For me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that's just me from a boxing fan's perspective. I'll probably be watching it on YouTube the next day. Definitely won't be paying for it. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your opinions below. But I do think second, third round, it's going to be a knockout. Floyd Mayweather's going to put it on Logan Paul. I think he's just going to panic. I think he's going to panic more than anything. It's a payday to Logan Paul, this is. And it's a payday to Floyd Mayweather. I think he's going to try and knock Floyd Mayweather out with a few right hands. I think he can't out jab him. You're not going to be able to out jab Floyd Mayweather. I think from Logan Pauls kind of from his team, his corner, they're going to go for the knockout. They're going to try and hit him with a good right hand. I think, if anything, that is the only chance he's got when it comes to, and that is like 0.0001%, because Floyd Mayweather's defensive boxing skills are amazing. You know, he's probably arguably got the best defense in the world when it comes to boxing, you know, with his Philly shell stance. And my favorite fight, I've got to say, between one of Floyd Mayweather's is got to be Canelo or Oscar De La Hoya. I feel that them two gave him a hard night. You know, they made him work for it, but his defense, his agility, his experiences, his ability to adapt in the ring conquered his opponent. So I'd like to see him come back again in boxing, in professional boxing, to maybe do one or two more fights. That would be amazing. But this, I don't see it. I really don't see the interest when I hear it. The first time I thought it was no. You know, it's just, I'm not a hater. It's just, I'm a fan of them both. But I just don't like the idea of this. But yeah, drop in the comments of your favourite boxers or fights that you would have liked to seen maybe back in the 60s, 70s, 80s era, you know, the old school era of boxing, or even in today's era, you know, any era of boxing. If there was two fighters that you would want to see get in the ring together, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. Opinion on KSI and Jake Paul has got to be KSI wins. 100% KSI wins. I just think he'll outwork Jake Paul. Simple. I think he will put it on him. And he showed in the two fights with Logan Paul that he wasn't scared of him. You could see that by his behaviour within the ring. You know, if anything, he was trying to take his head off every round, you know. But I just think, again, if I saw KSI in the boxing ring again, I'd love to see just a little bit more patience. That's it. You know, because when he lands, you know, he's got a good, he can put them combinations together really well, which we saw in the Joe Weller fight. And we saw it in these fights that he can, you know, overcome adversity when he got rocked by Logan Paul with the uppercut and the hit behind the back of the head. Yes, he did have time to recover, but still he came back and he put it on Logan Paul, you know. So that is definitely a fight I want to see next. Jake Paul versus KSI. Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. Now, again, it was a good knockout. I can't say it was a bad knockout, all right? I'm not going to be a hater. It was a good knockout, but it was against somebody who wasn't a boxer. So, on paper, people are always going to say, oh, he isn't a boxer, etc. He could have trained hard for the fight, you know. He could have trained hard for the fight. He could have prepared well, etc. But because he isn't a boxer, he's not going to get that credibility until he beats someone who's either won in the ring or is a boxer, you know. So I think Jake Paul's is in KSI as well as making the right move and fighting each other. Because if Jake Paul beats KSI, he can say, well, there you go. You know, he's beat a few people in the ring. So, and we know that KSI can box. You know, so, and there you go. So, but then if KSI wins, then I can't see boxing career-wise where Jake Paul can go from there. Obviously, he can continue down the road of boxing, but again, not too sure where he would go from there, you know. I'd like to see Deji come back as well. I'd like to see Deji box again. I don't know if he is going to box again. I know everyone wants him to box again because, again, he's got, for me personally, I think he's got a good left hand. And yeah, so the YouTube boxing scene now, I think, is just going to grow. You're going to see more YouTubers come out and box and fight. And that's what we need. That's what we need is more YouTubers to come out, more entertainment, you know, because again, when something new comes around, it's always dawned upon, you know, it's always, oh, this isn't going to work. There's a lot of pessimism, is that the word? Pessimism? Yeah. There's a lot of pessimism around boxing or around change in boxing. So, or somebody new coming through, oh, he won't be able to handle this person, that person. So it's good because when you've got a lot of pessimism in something in a sport, from my kind of point of view, is that's a good thing, because it makes you watch it. It makes you say, well, yeah, you can't do that. And then you've got that slight little question in your head thinking, well, maybe you can, or if he lands that right hand, it's one punch, and that's all it takes sometimes. So it makes you tune in and watch. And that's why, for me, boxing is the best sport in the world, personally. That's why, I think it's the best sport in the world. It's the most entertaining sport. But yeah, guys, let me know if you want me to do any more opinions, any reactions on opinions of your favourite boxer. So I could do a video on Muhammad Ali. It could be a particular video on KSI. It could be a YouTube boxer, it could be a professional boxer, it could be a retired boxer, it could be to do with Mike Tyson. Anything about boxing, drop it in the comments and I'll review it. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel below, hit that notifications bell. We do react to music as well, so if this is the first time you've been here, please go and check out some of my previous music videos. As you'll see above here any minute now, that I'll have some videos plugged for you to watch from the music videos. Take it easy, stay safe, be well, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.